Hi guys. Unfortunately, I can't be there for some of my favorite stuff, which is factoring. But I guess I get to make you guys a video, and that's maybe as good. I don't know. We'll see. Here we go. So, this is a review on all things factoring. All right. What we're gonna do is start with the most basic kind of factoring, which is factoring out the greatest common factor. Okay, so you got to remember greatest common factor. Let's do a quick thing. If I had 24 and I don't know, 18, their greatest common factor, GCF, would be the biggest number that divides evenly into both. All right. In this particular case, it is 6. 6 goes into 24. 6 goes into 18. That's the biggest number. The next factor of 24 is 8, which doesn't go into 18. The next factor of 18 is 9, doesn't go into 24. It's just 6 is the biggest one. All right. So that's GCF. A quick review on like way back in the day. And then if we have like a x to the third and x squared, the greatest common factor would be x squared. Okay, it's x squared goes into x squared, obviously, and x cubed has an x squared in it. So that's how it works with variables, and that's how it works with constants or numbers. Alrighty, so now let's look at what that looks like as an example. So let's take a look at this right here. If with a polynomial, I mean. The most basic kind of factoring in a polynomial is to take out the greatest common factor. And this is always my first step to every kind of factoring. Now, we've seen them where they don't have common factors so far this year. But a problem like this, we kind of can't factor this guy until we take out the greatest common factor first. So what I like to do is first look at all the constants. 3, 12, negative 36. And I like to think about the greatest common factor between those guys. And 3 is the greatest common factor for all of them. Okay? And so what I'll do is I'll take out a 3. And then I like to look at my variables, x to the third, x to the second, and over here is x to the first. The greatest common factor for those guys is x to the first. Okay, so I'm going to take out a 3 and an x. That's a 3x. The next step is to see what's left when we take out the 3 and the x. So what we're really doing is dividing. We're dividing 3x cubed by 3x to see what we get left. We've got to divide out the 12x squared by 3x. We've got to divide out the 36x by 3x, each one. Here's what happens. 3 divided by 3 is just 1. And x to the third power divided by x, what you do is you just think you have 3 x's here, and you took 1 out, so you have 2 left. Plus 12 divided by 3 is 4. And now I had 2 x's and I took 1 out. Minus 36 divided by 3, that's 12. And then here I had 1 x and I took it out, so it's just gone. Boom, done. Okay? And you can see how now we could look into factoring this further. Taking out a greatest common factor opens up the door for more factoring. This is the trinomial factoring of a ax squared plus bx plus c, where we make the big X and we see what can multiply to make negative 12 and add to make 4. And then I'm thinking 6 and 2. the biggest number always matches the sign of the bottom. So positive 6 and negative 2 would multiply to make negative 12, add to make a positive 4. So this whole thing here actually factors even further into x plus 6 and x minus 2, making the whole thing this. And then you can see how doing this allows us to sketch a graph. So that means that I have a root of 0, a root of negative 6, and a root of positive 2. So 0, negative 6, 2. This was a positive cubic polynomial, so I actually could go, no, we're done. That's it. That's all the sketches. Okay?